You were not made to be rigid. You were made to flow. This week, we move like water.
Hi, welcome to Catch Vibes 5-Minute Moves. My name's Brittany, and I am here to guide you into having a more fluid, free, fun life. Today specifically, we are focusing on reclaiming our sexuality and finding liberation through that. Today we're really focusing into fluidity and how we can move and be like water and move with life instead of like forcing and being rigid and moving against it. So if you think about it, when water is really stagnant, it's not moving, it can get really yucky, right? But when it's moving, it is really beautiful, and it can be really big and really rough. It can also be really slow. So we're gonna play with some texture, but really focusing into what does it feel like to be fluid and more watery. So we have 5 minutes and our time is now. Okay, today we're dancing to a song called Water. And if you want to, I just have these little like fabric friends with me today. Sometimes it's fun to dance with things because then we're not thinking so much about our bodies doing things perfectly. But because we're doing water, I thought it'd be fun to like have a little prop. You could use pillowcases, you could use maybe a scarf or a small towel, or you can just use your body. Totally up to you, okay? So the point of today is to move like water, and we're not gonna be stagnant water, so we're always going to be moving. Think like circular and wavy, and it doesn't have to be fast. A lot of the movement we're gonna be doing is pretty slow. We just don't wanna stop. Okay, so first we're starting with our hips, and we're gonna make a really big hip circle to our right or to one side. So I'm gonna push my hip to the side, back behind me, in front of me, and then ending where I'm starting. And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Big hip circle to the side, to the back, center, and back to where we started. If you want, you can move your hands around, making like circular motion as your hips are making those motions. You can bring your hands up your body as your hips are moving in a circle. You can just leave them beside you and let them kind of naturally move as your hips are going. Up to you. The only thing I would try and stay away from is doing something like really rigid, okay? So we move our hips slowly to the right, big hip circle, and then we're gonna go to the left, big hip circle. Then we're going to dip. So our hips are gonna go down and lift, down and lift. You can keep this pace if you want to. You can try a couple slow and then maybe do a couple a little bit quicker, a little more bouncy. As we do the dips, we're going to be reaching our arm out. So options here, you can just lift your arm. If you want to try and add a little wave, you can start at your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist, and then your hand to give it a little bit more motion. Or you can just lift and lift. And if you want, you can pick up the pace, side to side. Yes. From there, we're going to do a body roll. So if this is new to you, that's okay. I'm just going to lift my chest and my head, and then I'm going to sit into my hips. So my chest comes forward, and then it comes back. Chest, belly, booty. Try that. Ready? Head and chest, belly, booty. Yeah? You could also, some people like to do it the opposite way more. You can also start like sitting and pushing your hips forward first. So it'd be hips, belly, chest. Just seeing, and if thinking about that is like, that's way too much. Just thinking about like if your body was water, how wiggly it could be. So we're just trying to move our upper body in a little bit more of a wiggly way. okay? So again, your hands can come up your body. They can move around while you're wiggling. Then I'm gonna let the music play for a moment, and I want you to less of thinking and more of just doing. When you hear this movement or hear this music and think of moving like water, how does your body want to move? Remembering that we don't have to go fast, we just don't want to stand still and get stagnant. So just seeing even if you can continually move your body in a way that you're not standing still. Okay? Let's try that with the music. Big hips. Reverse. Wave and dip. Maybe quicker. Body. Whatever you want. Let's take a moment to just check in. So maybe placing a hand on your body, feeling your feet on the ground, maybe lowering your gaze or closing your eyes, taking a deep breath. And just noticing what's happening internally. Maybe you're feeling your heartbeat. Maybe you're feeling some tingling or lightness or heaviness. Maybe you're feeling a little sweaty. Just noticing what it felt like to move like water, to be fluid, to not be so rigid. And slowly wiggling your fingers and toes, blinking your eyes open, coming back to our space. So I encourage you to notice areas in your life where maybe you're feeling rigid or stagnant even, and what it might feel like to take this practice of fluidity and movement into your life, and what it could feel like in these spaces if you were more fluid or flexible or malleable. And also maybe taking this as like a daily practice of moving in your body in a different way. You know, a lot of times we're like sitting or standing in these very like rigid positions. So even having a practice of moving your body physically in a way that's more fluid, and just noticing what that does for you. Okay? If this is something that you'd like to dive deeper into, like maybe you're feeling a lot of rigidity in your life, maybe you're like, I want to be more connected to my body and be able to move more fluidly, my coaching container is open, and we do work on a lot of these things. Most of the practices are embodiment based and energetic based, so it's less of just like sitting and talking. We're really learning how to tune into our body and use that to our advantage in our daily lives. So if that's something you're interested in, you can always get my contact from the description and reach out for a free discovery call whenever you're ready. So as always, I just like to remind you that you already have everything that you need. Movement is just one way that we help set that free. So get out there and keep the good vibes flowing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.